Hey guys, welcome back. So this is my Goblin Halloween Scarf. That's what I'm calling it. Because when I think of goblins, you definitely think of that green and purplish, skin that they have. So this is actually made from Hobbie's Universal Yarns, and I did a review on that yarn pretty much a few nights ago, and I will definitely show you the color that I use. So let's just go back over this one more time. Remember, this yarn is a lightweight. It is a super fine, actually. Hobbii says that it is a size 1 yarn, and to us that's like a thread. Okay, this is 505 yards, okay, and this is made out of 98% acrylic and 2% polyester, okay. I did use the whole entire skein, the whole 505 yards, and as you can see, I mean, it's long. I mean, you see, it's never, it's just never ending. I used the whole entire skein. I mean, it's so pretty. And again, it is a lightweight yarn. It has that sparkle in it, a little bit of that metallic, thread in it to bring out that cute, little Halloween feel to it. And actually, what's pretty cool about me doing this scarf, after I had pretty much did more so like a show and tell of what I bought from Hobbii, I can honestly say now this we can call the yarn review. It surprised me because this is the yarn that I said it might give my fingers some trouble. I will admit that with some of that metallic, that's in here, sometimes it can be a little rough, if you're just constantly crocheting with it without taking any breaks. It feels a little, like cutting there on your fingers, but actually not too bad. And I was pleasantly surprised because once I put this on my neck, it was pretty soft. It's very soft. So the stitch that I use is called the Winkle Peacock stitch. It's called the Winkle Peacock stitch, and it is so easy. It is, look at that. That is beautiful. It's a beautiful stitch. All it is single crochets. Is just chains and single crochet. So if you know how to single crochet and make a chain, you are going to master this beautiful stitch. Okay, so here we go. You can use any weight of yarn that you want to use, okay? But if you want this look, it's a very narrow, kind of skinny yarn, okay? You might want to do a 1 weight or a 2 weight, something that's going to drape very, just drape very lovely like this. So again, we're going to go ahead, grab your yarn, and we're going to get started. To begin the Winkle Peacock stitch, okay, it takes a multiple of 3s, okay? So we're going to go ahead, well, I'm going to do a chain of 21. Now, this is a 4-ply yarn, so, it might look different than the way the scarf actually looks, being that that was done in a 1-ply. So go ahead and get your chain, start with your slip knot, and do a chain in a multiples of 3. Okay, so once you have your chain, okay, as long as you want, remember it needs to be done in multiples of 3s. You're going to put in 1 single crochet in the 6th chain from the hook, okay? So not this one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6. Put in 1 single crochet. Okay, and once you have that done, you're going to skip 1 chain and then put 1 single crochet into the next chain. So skip 1, put in another single crochet, and now chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to skip 1 chain, put in a single crochet. So skip 1 and then put in 1 single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, we are going to skip a stitch and then put in 1 single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip a stitch, put in a single crochet. Chain 3. Skip a stitch and put in a single crochet. Chain 3. Skip a stitch, put in a single crochet. Chain 3. Skip a stitch. Okay, so when you get down to the last 3, you're going to skip that stitch. You're going to then go ahead and put in 1 single crochet. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to chain 2, 1, 2. And in that last stitch, you're going to put in a half double crochet. So you will yarn over, insert your hook, yarn back over, and bring through all 3, and that's a half double crochet. Okay, and so it's going to look something like this. Doesn't look like much, but you'll start to see the design. Okay, so after you've turned your work, you're going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you're going to go into that first chain space, the 2 chain space, with 1 single crochet. Okay, after you do that, you are going to go over to the next chain 2 space. You are going to put in 1 single crochet. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go back into that same chain space and put in another single crochet. Jump over to the next chain 3 space. You will do the same thing. You will put in 1 single crochet, chain 3, and then go back into that very same chain space and put in another single crochet. Again, you're going to skip over to the next chain 3 space. You're going to put in 1 single crochet, chain 3, into that same chain space, put in another single crochet, and you're going to continue to do this until we get to that last chain space, because we're going to do something slightly different. Okay, so here we are. Once you get to that last chain space, okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to go into that space, put in 1 single crochet, and this time for the end, you're only going to chain 2 instead of 3. So 1, 2. And now what you're going to do is put a half double crochet. So you will yarn over, insert your hook into that same chain space, pull through all 3, which will complete your half double crochet. And that's what you're going to do every single time you get to the very end. Once you do that, you will turn your work And this is how you begin every single time you turn your work. You always chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because that 4 is going to count as your half double crochet. And then you're going to go right back into that 2 chain space with 1 single crochet. Okay, so that's how you're always going to start when you turn your work. And now you just go back to your next 3 chain space and do 1 single crochet, do 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, in that same chain space, put in another single crochet. Find your next 3 chain space, 1 single crochet, chain 3, another single crochet in that same space. Again, find your next, and be very careful, because once it's so easy, you know, you start flying and you see all these little like chain or stitches in between along the way. Those are not chain spaces. You'll know your chain space because it's 3. Put in a single crochet, chain 3, and another single crochet. That's it. Find your next chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, another single crochet. Oops. Single crochet, chain 3, okay. And again, here we are at that last space. You will put in 1 single crochet and only chain 2. 1, 2, and now yarn over for your half double crochet. Pull through all 3 and you turn your work, and it starts to look like that. That is really, really pretty. It looks, you know, may not look like much in the beginning, but it's going to be a work of art. And I'll do this row one more time with you. When you turn your work, you chain up 4. You go into that 2 chain space with 1 single crochet. Remember, that is how you start every single time you turn your work. And then you find your next 3 chain space, do a single crochet, chain 3, go back in that same space with another single crochet, okay? This is why it's called the Peacock stitch right there, because you got all of these little arches. Let's see. And that's it. So go ahead and continue to work up your scarf, okay, until you get it as long as you want, okay? So remember, now, of course, this is the same stitch that I did, but, you know, I mean, it's on a different scale, because this scarf, remember that fiber, that yarn that I use is a 1. It is a lightweight, it's a super fine, which is a 1. So of course, depending on the yarn that you use, your weight of the yarn, this stitch will come out looking, you know, different, and it's amazing. And it's going to look different if it's woven, a roving yarn. Sorry, I couldn't even get it out. A roving yarn, or, you know, like a loose, like just threads together type yarn. It's always going to look different, and that's the beauty of working with different yarn weights. Okay, so right here, you know, you're like, well, what's going on with yours? And that's because you guys know, from my older videos, I like to use for my tutorials, usually Karen Simply Soft. So Karen Simply Soft, you can see how the threads are, you know, the 4-ply and the way that it's spun. So it gives a different look. So you'll look at that and be like, no, that's not the same stitch. It is the same stitch, I promise you. So you can work it up, you know, as long as you want. And this scarf is so long, like it's just so hard to get it all in one shot. And that's pretty much it. So again, this is the Winkle Peacock stitch, okay? And it is nothing but single crochets and chains. That's it. And you will have fun. You'll be able to watch a movie. You know, you don't have to worry about counting, nothing of that sort, you know. So you'll have your scarf done in no time. Or you can choose this to use this stitch making something else, maybe a blanket or a hat. So, you know, anything. It's a beautiful stitch and it's so simplistic and I absolutely love it. So that is it. So let me know how you would like to work that stitch. You can always imitate, you know, the scarf that I did. If you don't have the universal Hobbie's yarn, you can use any super fine 1-weight or even a 2-weight, I think, you know, will work just fine, okay? And if you do work this up, maybe in a different size yarn or a different maybe a different project like a hat or a blanket, you can post your pictures to my Instagram account. I will put the link for my Instagram account so that you're able to show me what you did. But otherwise, I just wanted to get with you guys and let me know what you think. I appreciate you for tuning in. Until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.